Sambonani Makaya, this is your host Gaddafi Manafi, the entertainment freedom fighter, and welcome to Attention Show, the voice of the entertainment industry, where we bring you relevant information pertaining the industry, education, entertainment, and of course, a pinch of controversy, aka Gaddafi Manafi. Namhlanje, guys, I usually bring musicians and producers, songwriters, composers, arrangers, blah blah. But namhlanje I'm bringing you a production company that makes things possible. And this is based on the experience that we've had not long ago when we had an expose about a company, Media Ntontoni. Hey, this company is man now, abo Mkokotel. So this is based on the experience that we just had recently. And for me, it's very imperative that we educate ourselves about the industry, more particularly with the gospel industry, where you're going to be hosting or doing your live recordings, and you don't know exactly how much you should budget into creating that kind of production. So today, let's educate ourselves. Re avoid those kind of mistakes that our fellows made with this parking. When these schools that are not registered, that are not legal, and then when you go for nursing, they train you, and then when you eventually go there, and when you try to get a job, and they tell you it's not legalized, or it's not registered. So these are the kind of companies, they fly by night, where they just pretend as if they know what they are doing, and when you actually realize ukuthi abazi ukuthi bayenzani. But namhlanje I'm bringing you a production company that is very well informed about the industry that is in, and they produce best results, and they have a record of that, and we'll go deeper into that. But namhlanje I've got Hendrick Nemalili. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Hi Hendrick, welcome to Attention.
Hi, Kagashi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Are you good?
Yes, I'm well, thanks. Yes.
Can I interview?
We can arrange for that. We can arrange for that where the tables are turning.
I love your introduction because you said Gaddafi Manafi. So I want to understand his name.
You want to understand the name? No, the name is just rhyming, man. Just like Gaddafi Manafi. But then we'll go to into the day you interview me. We'll go deeper into that. Okay. How you doing,
Great.
sir?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. The first question. Firstly, thank you for making time for us today. And dressing up for us as well. Because I know you're always like doing your other businesses and in your t-shirts, nani. But I'm glad you made time for us, and we really appreciate that. The first question that I always want to, that I get into, especially after what we have experienced as a country or as the universe, COVID-19, how was it for you?
COVID-19 was a big surprise.
Yeah.
I remember just a week before we had our first lockdown, there was a webinar that was hosted, and it was, for me, it was like next week, just for a few days. The next week, I was here at Kobeka. But it was a big surprise and a very awakening call for me as an individual, plus also for my company, We were never ready for
Yeah.
it. Trust me, I was never ready.
Yeah.
But it was also a very good learning experience for me.
Yeah.
I've always known you must never waste any opportunity in your life, either good or bad.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot through COVID, and it opened more doors for me as an individual,
Yeah.
and also more
Yeah.
doors for Murangi Productions. That yeah, it was a very scary moment that we realized the second month, the fourth month, 8 month, now 12, now 16, and there's
Yeah.
no income on site, but
Mm.
we survived.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Yeah,
thank God, and we thank God that we are all
yeah,
still alive, and
yes,
we've
yes,
lost family members, friends, and etc. But we made it, and that's what we
yeah,
need to
true,
be
true,
grateful for.
yeah.
Just a bit of a background. Who is Hendrick and Nemalili, and where do you come from? Like ufikela eGoli. Obviously, you were not born in Joburg. Joburg is not a home for anyone. No one can say everything. I mean, this is my home. Sivela somewhere sonke la eGoli. So who is Hendrick? Where are you from?
Hendrick is it's a boy who was born in Venda in Toyando in a
Mm,
remote area called Sibasa. The village is called Chimulani. It's,
yeah.
from Sibasa to my village is almost like 3 kilometers. So the first town that came to Venda is called Sibasa. That's where I was born. So I grew
Wow.
up there with my mom, a single mother, and she
Mm.
raised us. We are six. I'm the last born at home. But my mother, deputy parents. So the
Yes.
firstborn became a deputy parent to me.
Yes.
She adopted me from my mother because my mother was having the challenge of raising six. So she took me under her arm and I became her firstborn.
Mm.
She's now 63. I think, yeah, our firstborn at home is 63. And now we are six, so I'm last born. You can imagine the gap here between me and her,
Yeah.
almost like 20 years or something like that. But in a nutshell, I grew up there. I went to a primary school in Chirani, and from there I went to Toronto Secondary School. From Toronto Secondary School, I went to University of Venda, where I studied a degree in music. I completed my degree in music. My deputy parent, who is my firstborn sister, she insisted
Nice.
that I must become a teacher.
Yeah.
So I studied a diploma in teaching. I did some teaching for a few months at a high school called Chikeva Primary Private School in Venda. For about
Mm-hmm.
8 months, I was a teacher there. And then the following year, I quit and I came to Johannesburg in 1997.
Mm.
I went to enroll myself at a college called Allenby College, studying for sound engineering. That's where I started to meet people in the industry. On my
Mm.
graduation day, I met our head of department, who was George Hutton. And then, because I was a brilliant student, he gave me an opportunity to come and work for his company the following Monday. Our graduation was
Wow.
on Friday, so on Monday,
You had a
I
job
went.
already.
I got a job on my just after graduation. I didn't even apply for this. And when I tell people I don't
Wow.
know how to write a CV, they think I'm joking. I never wrote a CV in my life. So, so I just went from graduating on Friday. On Monday, I was going for
Yeah.
for my first work, and that's how I started working
Wow.
here in Joburg. And George Hutton became the like a mentor to me, and I
Mm.
worked with him for many years with his son Christo, and then I learned a lot from them. In a
Mm.
nutshell, then 2003, I resigned from his company and I started the Murangi production, which was registered formally in 2004 with our registering company documents here in Pretoria.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
What a
that in a
journey.
nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah. What a journey. Already like there's a lot that I'm like, okay, that I'm picking up from what you have just shared. So firstly,
Yes.
firstly, I love the vendor culture. Okay. I don't know why, but there's just like that thing, yeah, about the vendor culture. And I think maybe it's because I grew up watching Muvango. So it's got like this you know, go na le e na le di-principle man. It's like mosadi must be, and for me, I'm not saying hore basadi tshwanetse ba gatelelwe, but it's more like it's just teaching you how to be a woman, and you know, a man, gore this is a man's position, and this, you know, and how they work together. And look, there's a lot that I've learned from Movango, and I don't know if that's how it is in real life, but I am proud to say that I own the cultural outfit yakting, and on Heritage Day, that's the outfit that I wear all the time, even though I'm not vendor.
That's nice. That's nice. That's no, no. To be honest with you, our culture is quite rich, and
Yeah,
it empowers a woman, but it also
yeah,
gives a woman a position in a place where she controls the family. She's the president, if I might put it that way,
yes,
and
yes,
she takes charge of that. That's why even when we do lobola negotiations, you don't find the men lightly doing lots of things. It's Omakazi who takes
yeah,
charge of everything. So women in our culture are very, 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 very highly regarded and given the
yeah,
position that they require. Yeah. Our culture is
yeah.
quite nice. You must get a vendor man, don't worry.
And I'll do it then, like I'll do it proper, you know. So, so you mentioned that you went to you studied music. What were you with you? Is music something that you're passionate about?
Okay, when I was young, I'm growing up. Like I said, I grew up in a village wherein, you know, the Mkomboti beer thing, drinking with the old men and women. So I
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
play a guitar made of my tin, and I used to entertain Boba Gogo and Bobo Mtala drinking, and I
Mm,
will get money for it.
mm,
So growing up at the age of 10, I started going to church, and I was playing guitar at the church where I grew up at the Apostolic Faith Mission in Toronto. That was from 1985, 1986 until I went to university. And then I
mm.
studied music where I was majoring in guitar. I'm a guitarist by default. So
Wow.
I studied that, and I still play now and then when I've got an
Yeah.
opportunity. But I studied music for 4 years, theory of music at the university. I've got a degree in
Wow.
that thing. So unfortunately, in 1997, I had an accident wherein my right hand got
Mm.
hurt. All you
Oh.
can see one day. So I, I stopped playing, not like stopped, but I didn't take it more serious. Hence,
Yeah.
I branched and I started becoming a sound engineer because at church, I used to play guitar at the same time mixing. And when I was sitting, I still have some pictures when I was still very young. I was holding my
Mm.
red and white guitar, and next to me there was a mixer. So I'm
Mm.
running both at the same time. So the love developed from there. And those who know me from when I was young, they know I've never done anything in my life that has got nothing, that has got no music in between. So music
Wow.
has been part of my journey. Either I was producing or I was playing. I produced
Mm.
for Taki and Robbie. I don't know if you know the artist called Taki, the
Yes.
artist called Iwa. Before you guys know them, they were signed under Murangi Productions. For many years, their first few albums, I think four, three, they
Mm.
were done in my studio under Murangi Production label. Artists like Andy Leby, the famous
Mm.
one from Joya Celebration. Uh, so that was my journey until I hanged my glove and said I want to concentrate only on the business side of music,
Yeah.
which was the Murangi production that you know now today.
Yeah. So did you study your engineering after the accident where you realized that you can't do music anymore? Or was it even during, even well before the accident?
No, it was after the accident.
Oh, I
It's,
see.
it's not that I wanted to stop playing, but my hand, um, I've got five fingers. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The three, the three
Yeah.
of them, um, I will say they've got say 70% or 60% control. The rest is no longer functional. So, and as a guitarist, you know, you need both of your hands and very
Of course.
fast.
Yes.
So I stopped playing. Not that I stopped completely, but I just put it on as a option B. Then I
Yeah.
concentrated mostly on the business side of sound engineering, and then I started learning how to do recording on computers, studio work,
Mm.
and it didn't take so much good for me. I was not happy with the studio sitting 2 hours or 3 hours just doing one song. It was like no
Yeah.
for me. Then I said no. And abanye bayabhimba you. Hey man, you must see them just this guy. And I'm like, no, I can't deal with this thing. Let me rather go and do live recording, I'm serious, you're producing the whole day and you're listening to someone who's singing out of tune for the whole 12 hours. And I'm like, no, I can't deal with this thing. It's just too much. Let me just go and do my sound engineering courses.
So you have to do the were you also doing the mixing and the mastering?
I was doing everything. If you check Taki and Ropiwa's and Andile's first albums,
Yeah.
um, everything was done and everything was done by me. Everything, like recording, mixing, and mastering. It's lots of other artists. There's another girl called Gugu from KZN, another one called Musa from Bloemfontein. Few of artists they're still in the industry now. They will still talk. It's just that unfortunately I don't do that anymore. But I was doing all of that. I had a fully fledged studio, but it wasn't a bedroom studio.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
equipment were like top class.
So did you sell your equipment?
Yeah. No, no, no. I gave them to Ropiwa. You know Ropiwa? When I stopped, I said like Ropiwa, man, I can just take this thing, my boy. Go and do whatever I want to do with it. And then I don't know
Wow.
what he still does it, but in a very small scale. He's now a businessman.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you saying you're mixing and mastering? And so ke mangana bimba bitinta and
I'm not gonna go into that, but I was not only recording them. Remember, the studio was not only for them; it was for everyone.
yeah.
So all I can say is I have produced Taki first album, the Rockwas first album, Andiles Akuvume album, if you know that famous one.
Yes.
And then they were very good. They made it very well. Hence,
Yeah.
they're still very relevant even today in the industry. I
Yes.
can tell you now, the background that those boys have, we travel the whole country. Trust me, there's not even one corner of South Africa that we didn't go to. Like literally
Mm.
every little corner that you can think of, from Cape Town to Limpopo to wherever you can think of. We've been there.
Yeah.
Even the smallest town. Back then,
Nice.
we used to do street promotions. TV was a thing of, it was luxury to be on TV.
Yeah.
I remember our first TV appearance. We even had to invite the whole village to come and look. Hey, we're gonna be on TV next week. And by then, we were talking about gospel gold. It was gospel gold with Zanele Mokas and Tina Sembigete. You know that old days, those olden days. So
Yes. Yes.
and more ready code. So
Yeah.
we had that opportunity to promote Taken Robiwa the most and Andile in
Mm.
every rural area you can think of, like rural area that you can think of. People will
Yeah.
never go there. We used to go there. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So we are les affaires in this
Too
industry.
much, too much. Before everybody
Yes.
knew Taken Robiwa today, I knew
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like ko ke qala go bona like only knowing you now. Okay, why are you disappearing? Okay, you're back. So like I said, Uti, it's not that I'm only seeing you now, like on Facebook. I mean, we've been friends, being friends on Facebook, and we have a lot of mutual friends as well. But what really
I
can you hear
can't
me?
hear you.
Okay. Uh, what did you
Can you
do?
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear? If you can hear me, thumbs up.
I
I can't
can.
hear you. Um,
Um, okay. Let's wait for him. He'll come back just now. these things happens, guys. These things happen, Bazalwane. It's called technology. Yeah. Yes.
You were
You can
gone.
hear me
Sorry,
now.
sorry about it.
Okay. No.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so anyway, like I said, that I've known you for a while on social media, but the reason why I actually found it proper to call you forward is the expose that we had. I had a few artists coming forward to say that they were exploited by a small media company, A Media Studios, where they were, they paid something like a ridiculous amount to do a full production, a full house production, live recording, and they were exploited because they were exploited. So these guys basically ran away with the money because they didn't deliver the services, even though they gave them a very good deal. But I realized that maybe it's these kind of deals, Teddy, when people charge so much money, like little money, let me put it that way, just to attract more clients. And then these clients end up being not happy because the services were either delivered but not good quality, or they were not delivered at all, like in this case. So reason why I invited you on this show was to outline, and guide artists who would say, if you want to do a live recording even going forward, like what is it that why do I need to invest so much into the sound, lighting, and stage? Because sometimes we're thinking, we'll say, if I can get it for less, it's cool, but then eventually we're not happy with the results. But we've seen your work. I mean, you will mention like all the clientele that you have, but you're doing a good job, and I want people to also know who is the man behind the work that they see out there, and what gets like kingy, what gets into it, like what the work that you put into that for the production to be what it is. So for live, let's say gospel live recordings, what is it that they need to consider when they do live recordings?
You're touching in a very sensitive nerve in my life when you talked about that because I've been. No, I'm serious. I've been so much invented with such questions before. Uri. Murangi, I want to do a recording. And when you look at the budget that the person is talking about, I'm talking about daily inboxes, daily questions. I'm talking about things that happens even last night, even today. People will send you a text that, hey, I'm a new artist or I've been in the thrift, I want to do a recording. And you look at that word recording. So I always tell my client, guys, once you want to consider to work with us, it's no longer about you alone. It's also
Yeah,
about us as a company, our reputation. And I
yeah,
wouldn't want to take the money from the bank and you don't have anything left for you to any family. But I wouldn't also want to compromise the quality because you don't have enough budget. I'd
true.
rather you go and raise enough money so that we do a proper job, or we don't do it at all. Not in a rude way though, but number
Yeah.
one, you'll find a company advertising, then they'll give you sound, stage, lights, cameras, editing, audio recording, and final product at very ridiculous price. And you look at it, once you know that this thing is like 7 or 8 products that needs to happen for you to have one project, and you check the budget, it's like, no, we can do it for 20,000. You can do it for 20,000. Oh, okay. It sounds good because I don't have money. I want to do this thing. I come to you, Gafi, I said, here's my 20K, here's my 30K.
Yeah.
Go and do this thing for me. And when you start realizing the work that goes before the actual day, there's transport, There are trucks
Mm.
that need to be loaded, and trucks don't load themselves.
Mm.
Transport, we don't own garages where we've got petrol station all over. We don't own toll gates.
Yeah.
We don't own B&B or guest houses. We don't own food outlets. So you
Yeah.
realize, hey, I've got a crew of 10 people to set up the stage. They need to travel from here to your hometown, for instance, maybe Mafikeng. We get to
Yeah.
Mafikeng, we get accommodation. Before you even start anything, your cost just for a day is almost like 5 to 7,000 rand, just one day or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if it's 3 days, you're looking at about like 20K, just the cost to keep the crew there. You haven't paid
The
these people,
logistics.
the
Yes.
logistics around it. You haven't even paid
Yeah.
them. They still have to come back at the end of the month. You need to give them salaries, and you realize you charge 30,000 rand, and
Yeah.
the day is fast approaching. What do you do then? Number
Mm.
one, you either run away. Number two, you pull back and you give the money back. In most cases, giving money back is not an easy thing to do because by the time
Yeah.
somebody pays you, you have already used that money. So
Yeah.
I would advise my artists. I've done lots of low budget projects. I
Mm.
won't mention names, but I've done. I would say in the gospel industry, I've done lots of them. It's
Yeah.
better to be very upfront and say, Murangi, I only have X amount of money. I cannot
Mm.
afford to do 1, 2, 3. What can you do within this budget? I must
Yeah.
not over promise because in most cases, I will say I will do a hundredfold kind of project, and I come with only third.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, you as an artist, you are very angry with me. Secondly, if you are not angry, we are already fighting because I ran away. So I
Yeah.
would be very skeptical of anybody will say they will do a live DVD recording for less than what it's supposed to be. I won't give the price online, but you must be very careful. You know, scammers are easy to pick up.
Yeah. But in this case, the people that were exploited, they didn't pick that up. They thought Wuti, this is a very good deal. So I think it's not always easy, Wuti, for exploiters to or perpetrators to be identified, because these are very sweet people who approach you in a manner, Wuti, we've done one, two, three, and they'll show you their records, what they have done. But in this case, when it came to it was more like they're now becoming greedy and they want to make as much money as possible, like now. But now they keep taking money from people and using it to the next one and using it to the next one, but not delivering services from where they're coming from. So you're saying that it's very easy to point them out, but it's not, because a lot of musicians have been exploited. So for Mina, if I can ask, without mentioning names, without mentioning, what are the red flags for, um like, what kind of amounts that give a red flag ukuthi lo muntu lo is going to exploit me?
Number one, is I'll say it's very easy. Yeah, you're right. Maybe for the artists because then most of them are not in the industry. They just want a quick gratification. Number
Yes,
one is
yes.
if I come to you as a Morangi and say I will give you lights, sound, stage, cameras. We are recording live DVD recording. We're gonna mix this thing. And I'm saying to you, give me 50K,
Mm.
give me 30,000, give me uh, a ridiculous amount of money, man.
Mm.
You as an artist, go back and do your research. Number two, that what I've picked up is most of our artists don't do company background research.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen in so many cases. I post a lot of my work on social media, and I
Mm.
do it deliberately with no watermark. I
Yeah.
don't put my I don't do that.
Mm.
Some people have advised me to do it, but for me it's like no, it's useless. I can do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether I do it or I don't do it. I've seen so many people coming to me with my work and say, "Can you do this for us?" We found Gaddafi came and say she's the one who did this thing. but she's charging us 20,000 rand. Can you do it for like 50? And I'm like, but these pictures you're showing me, it's my pictures. No, 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 it's not yours, it's Gaddafi's. She said she's going to do this and she's going to do it cheaper. Recently, I won't mention the name, I did another event. That event was uh, and they
Can you hear me? I can't hear you from this side. I don't know what you did when you touched your phone. Yes.
can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying somebody came to me with some work that I have done and
Yeah.
say, do this for us. Lucky enough that the client had already seen my post and say, but no, I've seen this on Murangi, but you are saying you are Gaddafi, you are the one who did this job. Give me
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah.
And so it's very easy to pick up such things like to say, but
Mm.
1, 2, 3 has happened, and because of 1, 2, 3, the price that Gaddafi is charging me, it can't be possible that it is possible to do it within this price.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very not easy if you are an ignorant artist or maybe your management don't check things around on social media.
Yeah.
Maybe you might pick up those.
Okay. The minute you touch your phone, things change. I can't hear you anymore. I don't know. You when you touch your phone, something happens. I can't hear you. Do you wanna maybe log out and come back? Technology, guys. Technology. That's just the way it is.
Can now.
Yes. Yes. You're back now.
Yeah, so I was still saying the picking up of the scammers might be difficult if your company or you as an artist don't do due diligence in terms of background checks. There are lots of fly by nights, not fly by nights, startups. Yeah, startups.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Startups, and unfortunately, with startups, most of them they want quicker gratification, quicker way to make bucks. So they'll come and take 20 events from Gaddafi, from Murangi, from what, and then because they're charging this much, they can take
Yeah.
20. And
Yes.
then once they've taken 20 projects and they can't deliver in 15 of them, what do? They run away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
because Warner they want quicker bucks without checking on the correct steps and the procedures of doing the work.
Yeah. Is there, I'm just thinking, as you're saying that, is there an organization where maybe companies in your field have to register to be qualified as service providers? Like, Hamotware, I'm a qualified lawyer. For this law society where you can call and check if this person is really, a
Mm.
qualified one. So I'm just wondering if this is the case with in your field, because it seems like, anybody can do that. And for me, it's there's nothing wrong to say that me as Gaddafi, I do events, but I'm partnering with Murangi Productions. So if I'm gonna be using your pictures, it's only fair to bring you as a company and say I'm working together with, so that they know, Uguti, it's not me who's providing these services. and I'm not the best person to answer any question about sound lighting and stage, because and then they're gonna be asking me questions, I will not be able to answer any of their questions, and and that's how they're gonna know. So mina, that's why ngibuza ukuthi, is there an organization that registers companies that render such services, or it's you do whatever you want?
They are organized, there are bodies that regulates our industry.
Mm,
We've got TPSA and then Sakia. Unfortunately, there is no law that says if you're not part of it, you can't run this business.
yeah.
Because in most cases, most of the companies that you see on a daily basis, they are breakaway companies, if you remember it
Mm,
that way. So
yeah.
I will go and work with Gaddafi for two,
Mm-hmm.
3, 4 years, learn some skills, and pick up some few clientele through Gaddafi, and think, I can do it better than Gaddafi. And the following
Yeah.
day, I just wake up and say, you see my company advertised on social media, or I'm running a company called Hendrick Productions.
Mm,
Jiggy Jiggy. Doing a project ka Lewis Kobela, because Lewis Kobela was the next slide, and when I was still there, I managed to convince her to come and work with me, because I'll give her a better deal and a better price than what I was giving. That's also the
yeah.
client. I don't have a regulator. I can do it as I want. Even if something
Yeah.
falls on somebody's head, it's my risk that I'm taking. What if it doesn't fall? So
Yeah. Network. Yes, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. We will be back.
are we back? Your router was
Oh,
gone.
you back?
I'm
Yes,
back
because I
again.
could not. I couldn't hear you. Yes, now I can hear you now. But then how do we stop
I
this?
couldn't even
How?
see you. I was saying your network is cutting. What do you say? How do you what?
I was saying, okay,
Can
how
you
do
hear
we
me, Gaddafi?
then? Yes, I can hear you.
I
How
can
do
hear
we
you.
manage this?
Continue. I can hear you.
Okay, how do we manage this then? Like, for me, it's when these kind of things happen, is there uh, can we report such things, because for me, I just, I hate bad service. And if someone is going to be doing this, and not just to one client but to many clients, obviously they have to be reported and be until they render proper services to their clients. So is there an organization that they can be reported to?
It's the same organization I'm talking about, but now it's very difficult to report somebody to an organization that they are not affiliated. These organizations, there are standards that before you even become part of it, there are tests, there are industry standards that you must show you understand this industry in totality, not
Yeah.
just in a small portion. You go through
Yeah.
the time to become a service provider. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
when you are not when you are not a member, even if I come to report to them and say, oh, Gaddafi is doing this, they how come and prosecute you because you're not a member. So in a nutshell, if a client is duped by these people, it becomes the
Mm,
onus of the client to go and get legal
mm,
advice, for their loss or whatever damage that they do.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So, your pricing in a, because I know you do corporate company, you do corporate events as well, or even
Are
like
you there?
your awards, and I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Please log out and log in back in, because I think the network gets better when you go out and back. Ehlawunyesa technology guys. Yasingisa namhlanje i-technology. This is alright. It's alright. Life in. There you go.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you were asking about the pricing for the corporate events and everything.
Yes, the pricing for the corporate events versus the our industry. Is there any different, like, price difference, or you have a standard pricing? Like, let's say for instance the awards versus a corporate event where it's like a gala dinner or a year end function. So do you have similar rates, or they always differ?
Okay. I will speak for myself on this one. I won't speak on the industry regulations. At
Yeah.
Murangi, we've got price list of everything that
Yeah.
we have in the factory. So if you come and say you
Uh-huh.
want one microphone, and I punch one microphone on our system, it will say
Mm.
ULXD, show ULXD microphone or handheld. It will give me a price automatically on the system.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Mm.
what happens is when we do any event, I don't just receive a call from Gaddafi and say, Gaddafi, give me a code for the Gala dinner. Gala dinner is
Yes.
you understand? So
Yeah.
I'll sit with you and say, plus, okay, give me what will be happening in your event. What is it that you need? What kind of
Yeah.
equipment do you have? Entertainment? If there is it a live DVD? Is it a live performance or the DJ? So I need holistic picture of everything. And when I do the code will say your price is 10 rand.
Yeah.
And when the price is 10 rand, I say, Garavi, here's the 10 rand. This is what you want. And you can say, but I don't have money. And you can see this COVID. Can I pay 8 rands? And then I
Mm.
said, no, 8 rand is too much. You have too little. Just try to make it maybe 9 rand 50.
Yeah.
Then we will wrestle around that until we get to the common price. But in totality, there is no price tag at dinner and a price tag for who went because he's doing a live TV recording. Every price.
Yeah. Yes, you're back now.
Your next.
My network. Let's see. My network is perfect. It's proper.
Your network keeps on freezing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I hear you perfectly, Min, at this side.
Hello?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, your network keeps on freezing.
Okay. All right. So
Can't hear
anyway,
you. Can
since
you
you,
move around?
You can't hear me at all.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay. So okay, let's just
I can hear you.
to just to wrap it up. If you can hear me now, what are the challenges that you are facing in this industry, like whether it's corporate or it's live DVDs or ama awards? What challenges do you usually face that maybe your clients should avoid?
The biggest challenge that the biggest challenge that we have is the issue late confirmation of
Mm,
events. And
mm,
in most cases, our clients, not only ours, I think it's across the industry. Most clients don't consider the setup time whenever they book the
yeah.
venues. You'll find out
Mm,
that the venue is giving you your event is on Saturday, the 26th of March, and you are starting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you want us to come and set up on in the morning of the same day. And our
yeah.
setup is not possible to do it in fact. So I would say number one, the setup dates. Number two, late confirmation. Number three, non-payment on paying not on time.
Mm,
It hinders lots of things. Trust me, there's nothing that frustrates than planning and organizing the whole thing for the whole month, 2 months. And when it's supposed to be a day or a week before, you're running out of paid
mm,
deposit paid.
mm,
And unfortunately, with us, we can't do anything without payment, full payment,
mm,
because I've noticed in most cases, unfortunately, most people run away, and you spend more money for your money than you ask for it upfront. So it
mm,
becomes a big challenge. And at the end of the day, people start at less for your money. But the other ones are the ones who attend our way of thinking, because you do something a favor for Gaddafi because she's trying to enhance and develop a life, and boom, she runs out. Something like one same thing
yeah.
because Gaddafi has somebody to do. So,
Yeah. Okay. And
can you hear me?
your your clients, do start a name drop
Your
so
network
that people
is
understand.
bad. I don't know what's happening, but it keeps on freezing.
Yeah, it goes. It's very slow. I can actually hear myself.
Something is cutting. You said your lines what? Okay, now it's back. You saying your client?
I was saying your clientele. Your oh, your clientele, baby, your clientele.
Bluetooth. Bluetooth.
Where's that line going? Technology today, but it's not only today. Why is the national English technology? One plan. Who's that saying like it? Who's that saying? There we go. Hey, Jesus. Young Jill.
Bluetooth mode. Connect
Okay, guys. I think Mr. Hendricks has disappeared for forever. So what we shall do is we shall give information here, okay, on the caption so that if you wanna communicate with him and ask for services, you will be able to get hold of him. But in the nutshell, guys, that's what it is. If you wanna go out there and book, it's production, but again, a production company that is going to do sound lighting and stage for your events. Better make sure with with you check their background to know ukuthi labantu laba sebenze kuphi basebenza namobani, and then get references. Make calls. Don't just put your money where you haven't even gotten any reference. And Lama references law, they must give you all the references of all the events they claim what they have done. And when Mawa phone, they must give you the company registration number. Okay. So because in that way you'll be able to know whether they are legit or not. I actually didn't think you wanna come back.
You back?
But just to wrap it up, just to wrap it up, and what
I
advice
can't hear
would you
you, my
like to
love.
give?
I really can't hear you.
Okay, maybe he will just text us the advice, ne? So it's just that guys. Let's make sure we do things better. Otherwise, many guys, I'm gonna go, and I'll give you the feedback memory, and then he comes back. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Are you able?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Yes. Hi. Let's just wrap it up.
Your audio is completely gone. Now I can hear you. Talk to me.
Okay.
Hello? Can
Yes.
Yes, now I can hear you.
I was just saying
We've
like
got 6 minutes.
yes. I was just saying let's wrap it up. If there's anything you would like to say, that I've left out of the conversation.
Thank you for the opportunity to start with. Number two, it's very important to do your background check to any service provider, not only to Murangi, to everybody who
Yes.
says to you, Gaddafi Manafi, I will do 1, 2, 3 for you. Please go and do your
Yeah.
sound background check, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, if you don't do that, you end up being duped. Your money won't come back. Unfortunately, you'll
Yeah.
go everywhere, the money won't come back. So
Mm,
it will be very important that after you've uh, secured your dates, your venue, and now you want a service provider, go for a reputable one. I'm not going to give them
mm,
names, but look for the
mm.
guys that are reputable, the guys who
Yeah.
know what they're doing. Um,
Yeah.
the fly by nights are always there, bruh. They will check you and they'll take all your money away. Trust me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I can say.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, sir, to for availing yourself for us today.
You
And
called me who say? I love that. I love that. Eh?
yeah, yes, I
It's
can wear a
important.
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a suit, you know.
You know what? After this, shame. I'm going back to my techies and my t-shirt.
But thank you so much for your time, guy. And we will, if there's any questions whatsoever, for bookings, where do people reach you for bookings? And I'm talking about people who serious monies here, not the 20,000, the 20,000
No, they
nuggets.
can come with their 20,000 for the
Yes.
job that qualifies for that. But
Yeah.
they can check us on www.morangiproduction.co.za. They can send
Mm-hmm.
me an email directly to me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give three emails. The first one is info. The second one is sales. The third one is Murangi, which is Murangi at murangiproduction.co.za. murangiproduction.co.za. So all of them, it's sales at murangiproduction.co.za, info at murangiproduction.co.za, and murangi at murangiproduction.co.za. My number is 072-973-6356. My number is for everyone. Even if they ask you to give them my number, don't even call me to verify. Just give it to them.
I
It's
will.
on WhatsApp. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere. My number is for free. I
All
don't
right.
have two numbers. It's only one number.
All right. All right.
Thank
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And please send them to all the. Okay, I've got your number. I've got. If you send me all your
email.
email addresses, yes, so that I can you put them on the caption as I save this recording as well.
No stress. I'll send them to you.
All right. Thank you so much to get for your time,
Sharp,
Ray.
sharp, sharp.
All
Thank
right.
you so much,
Thank you.
madam.
Cheers. uh, thank you guys. Thank you guys today. Oh, thank God he came back. What you wanna know, what you wanna hear, what you wanna avoid, not hurt you and for you. If it takes time. What you wanna know, what you wanna hear, what you wanna avoid.